Well, originally I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and and I got interested in yoga when I was 20 years old or so, and that started a new journey. Really, it was a lot of physical recovery, and then it became more opening to a spiritual journey and emotional growth. So that kind of took me into Asia and India, and and then eventually to Bali about 12 years ago. Yeah, I've been practicing over a year, and I found it was just excellent with the attention to the core and shoulders, and just detailing it in a way that I hadn't come across before. It's quite a big question, actually. Yoga is it's a very wide scope, um, because it really deals with the whole person, including the emotional person, the attitudes, and lifestyle, and all around health and harmony. So that takes up a big part of yoga. Just physically speaking, it's working in a little more subtle way with energies, with the systems of the body to influence the digestion and glandular system, respiratory system, for example, and working with prana, life force. So that's kind of where its domain is. And what I've noticed the difference in Pilates, it seems to be more focused on core stabilization, shoulders and neck, and getting very, very strong and moving from the strong center. So it has a very, I would say, very specific focus on getting this midline very well known and developed. There's an overlap in the yogas and the Pilates, and you see on that physical plane, there's things that are done here in Pilates, which are also done in yoga, which you need both because you're connecting to the body. When there's a physical practice, you're applying your physical intelligence. So there's definitely a crossover. I mean, you can't sort of deny those things for the moment. It's all there. If you've been practicing the Pilates, it's going to be there in the yoga. And then, like just for example, one thing that I really like to do when I'm lying on my back is to do some of these toe taps. And then you get this nice core connection. You also get warmth. And I mean, in yoga, we're working with elements too. So the fire element turns on. So Pilates is excellent for igniting that fire element and getting the body warm. And then the yoga works in a kind of very much with water and movements and the air through the breath. It translates into the yoga in a very good way. I mean, for example, standing and balancing, then you have that, this is where the strength is where the center is. And anything, any lifting things that you're doing, and any strengthening poses and things like that, that core and shoulder stabilization kind of turns on because it's been ignited in the Pilates. And it's there in the yoga. It's just I haven't found it so highlighted, and not everybody teaches it, or in my experience, definitely not as well. Yeah. Especially when there's changing levels. If you're bending forward and then coming down, or onto your knees and then coming up, in the level changes, the core and the coming up on the exhalation is really good, and that's one thing that Pilates, I would say, emphasizes that. So number one, level changes, balancing poses, and standing poses that are strengthening when the arms are up over the head. I mean, there's lots of poses in yoga, the warrior poses, and Trikonasana pose, where you have that strong center and core connection is there. But I would say it goes in and through almost every strengthening type of yoga pose. And in the relaxing postures, we're just, we're letting the body go, and it's a bit different, a little more subtle exploration. I like the breathing in Pilates also, and and then yoga has a few different breaths they can do, and so I find it's just great to know a lot of different ways how to breathe and to feel the differences. And that what I feel from the Pilates breath is that it really helps to pull back the abdominals and expand here. That's also in the yoga too, but it's very much, I would say, highlighted here in the Pilates. And the yoga breath tends to be a little, I would say, just softer belly breaths and relaxing and inducing a parasympathetic response. I like to surf, and what I was doing when I was surfing was I was just kind of loose in the shoulders and not really connected in the core, so I didn't have that stabilization. And when I was incorporating the Pilates into surfing, that really helped a lot. I felt I could go longer, feel stronger, and with less pain in the neck, or no pain in the neck. After felt really good. I feel like the Pilates is excellent for surfers. Yeah, I mean, any kind of sports people, like say, I mean, if you bypass this core shoulder stabilization, you're missing out. You're gonna be getting hurt probably eventually. So unless it's there naturally, which you'd be lucky if you have that. There are some styles of yoga that are quite, I would say, stronger physically, and they use in yoga it's called bandhas, which are locks and pulling up pelvic floor and drawing back. Very similar, but a different language. And so I would say some of these yoga practitioners already have that general knowledge that is there in the Pilates and may not need it as much. But I think for some of those that haven't connected to the core yet and the shoulder stabilizing and really felt it, that it would definitely be beneficial. I mean, this is for me, I mean, it's after 25 years of practicing yoga. I didn't have it to the same degree that I do, and now that I do, I'm like, right on, that's great. So, yeah, anybody who feels, it's worth exploring, I would say. Yeah. Well, actually, when I started, I originally contacted Osa, but she was away at the time. So I went to the other place here in Ubud, and they had machines and all that. And so that was my introduction to Pilates. And, I can see how they help and keep in a very sort of fine-tuning, very specific ways of pushing and pulling and stuff. But to be honest, I don't care as much for strapping all into these machines and stuff too. I appreciate just having the simplicity of a mat and a practice that you can take with you anywhere you go, and you can't lug one of those machines around with you. Yeah, so I think it's good, but I would say without the mat work, it's almost something else. It's a peculiar kind of workout. It's a place where one can walk through the doors into like for me it feels like a dojo. It has a kind of it's a special energy that's just for the Pilates, and you arrive into this like setup. Okay, now it's the time, the mats are laid out, and the water's coming down over the Buddha face, and there's the music, and you just kind of align with the practice that's coming, and it just feels really, I would say, I mean, here it also feels really nice with the bamboo, and it's kind of a simple, clean place, and you feel that it's right for the Pilates. it works well. She's created, you know, the fans are there, keep you cool if you need that. And it's just simple, clean, beautifully done. I did try them, and I thought they were really good. And I tried some others online as well, and I like Osa's the best. Yeah, I just maybe also because I'm used to Osa's voice and way of teaching and familiar with her, and so I connect well. But I just think it's really nicely done and concise and well led, and it's enough said without saying too much, right guidance, and so you can be in your home and just and follow along very easily. And you know, 20 minutes is very easy to fit in a day. So it's really nice to have that little the help, especially if you find it hard to motivate, or you just can't remember what it was. Then you can just turn on and you're in a class. So it's a great thing. It's a strong physical practice, and so you got to be ready for that. If you're looking for, you know, it's sort of a relaxed, restorative, you know, like lying around and you know, breathing and resting a lot, it might not be your cup of tea. But if you want a nice, I would say, kind of pick up and turn the fire on and get a good physical workout and get the core lit up, then I would say it would be great for any yoga person. Yeah, I maybe just want to say here too, and for me, I blended in the Pilates with my yoga practice when I'm practicing on my own and personally. And then I do some of the things that we do here on there, because I find I like it, and it works in well, and it has a nice place in the yoga program. I just have a lot of gratitude for you guys creating this nice space, and I would say also for Osa, that's teaching 2 classes per day and plus privates every day, and holding that consistent space. And she's always fresh and always you know, it's cheerful and kind, and turning excited about the classes. And it's just it's really nice to have that in the town. I feel like it's a nice jewel, and it's one of the things I look forward to when I come to Ubud. Yeah. So yeah, I just really express my gratitude and my thanks to you for making that, and I wish you all the best with your future here, and I know it's helping a lot of people. So I love it and I support it.